Hi, I'm Jane Brecken from Limited Potential Coaching Services. I'm here today to talk about a summer workshop that we're doing in Brainerd, Minnesota, entitled Deep Recovery. Dr. Rosie Kuhn is facilitating this, and she's joining me today, and we're going to discuss a little further about what this workshop's about. So welcome, Rosie.
Thanks, Jane. It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well. So I'd just like to start out asking, why the title Deep Recovery? What exactly does that mean?
For a very long time, addictions has been about, the recovery process is about, in a sense, getting sober. That's one level. Getting clean, which is getting all the substances or patterns or habits out of our system. But it's a matter of managing and coping with and finding strategies to deal with, as if the potential for backsliding or getting back into addictions, falling off the wagon, could happen anytime. Deep recovery is a process where we're looking at what is it that's actually the source of the addiction itself, or the habits. What's the source of the restless, irritable discontent, in a sense, that has us start to want to do something that distracts, or has us avoid or deny that we have this restless, irritable discontent? And what's the source of that restless, irritable discontent? So by asking these questions, we're beginning to unconceal and discover that we have lots of different thoughts and belief systems and patternings in our cellular memory that has us be fearful and live from that sense of that fear. So in this process of deep recovery, we're able to with curiosity and delight, if you will, explore what's the source of all of this way of being in the world that has us use substances or behaviors to cope with life's stresses with life.
Oh, thanks, Rosie. Can you talk a little bit more about the shift that you believe is happening? You call it a paradigm shift that's happening in recovery in general, not just addictions recovery, but even in mental health world. What is that shift?
That shift is that we, in a sense, with the 12-step program, and many 12-step programs are not only for alcoholics or drug addicts, or there are 12-step programs for love addictions, or for debting or gambling, or for retail addictions. There, any place where we have a sense of not owning our own abilities to be authentic, there's support fellowships and programs for that. And there's, again, many programs are helping to manage our coping with and gives us strategies, but the paradigm shifts allows us to actually transform our orientation from that level of having to manage to actually completing the recovery, if you will, so that there isn't anything even to manage. Now, somebody might say, well, does that mean that I can drink again? And I can't answer that question because it's like, what's the source of the drinking? If you're drinking from restless, irritable discontent, if you're drinking or eating from anxiety or avoidance, those are the patterns that we're wanting to change. We're wanting to get to, what is it that you're avoiding? What is it that you're attempting to ignore or distract yourself from? So some people can eat without, it's not because they're avoiding some emotional element, or they're not drinking to avoid something. They're drinking because of the pleasure of having a glass of wine, or they're having a cookie, but it's not because they're trying to squelch some fear of deprivation. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. And what it sounds like to me is that it's just a matter of becoming more awake to how it is that we're choosing to go to these things, just being more awake and aware of that.
We've been taught to be afraid of ourselves. We've been taught to be afraid of looking into ourselves to see, what's the source of my belief system? How did I learn to be this way in the world? And So when we can begin to ask those questions, it's not about a fear or a panic that I might find something out about myself that is horrible, because I am aware of all of the trainings that I've done, in a sense, to myself and through my culture, through the consensus view of reality. I'm aware of all of that. I just have to ask myself the questions that give me the answers that are going to provide me with what's needed to take the steps to change that, or to shift the paradigm, shift the orientation. So this whole process is about shifting from, in a sense, fear-based. It's a shift from authority outside myself, in a sense that the mental health services are so valuable to us, and at the same time they can limit our potentiality. And the same with our fellowship programs. They're so valuable, and there's more. And a lot of the alternative perspectives, or all, spiritual perspectives, can help us support in taking the leap of faith from one paradigm to one that is more self-serving, from that place of self-evolution, self-consciousness, as you say, self-awareness, self-awakening. And really, for me, the element of all of this work is the willingness to self-empower, to make choices in alignment with my highest truth and my highest good. And that means the highest truth and highest good of everyone.
Right. Oh, it sounds doable almost, the way you explain it, Rosie. I'm so excited. That's why I'm excited to have you come and really help these people put to practice some of these shifts, and
yes.
and they aren't going to even be fearful of their recoveries anymore, of what if I go back. I see that with addiction a lot,
Yes.
that fear-based way to be sober, and
that's right.
There's more.
That's
like
right.
You said.
And it doesn't mean as if we can, at some point the fear is transcended. At some point we can live a fairly fearless life. And at points, fear comes up. At points, anxiety shows up. Panic, crisis is that we have overcome, in a sense, before, now presents itself in a different way. Perhaps a loss of a job, or a marriage ends, or children, or financial, whatever it is that brings up another level of self-revealing. And so it's an ongoing process. So but we have more choice about how am I going to be in this present moment with my anxiety or my fears, as opposed to saying, I just got to get them squelched. I just got to make them go away because I'm so uncomfortable.
Right. Interesting. Well, so I think we're going to stop here, and then maybe do another question answer for another time. Thank you so much, Rosie. I'm excited to get with you again and ask you a few more questions regarding this recovery workshop. Appreciate your being with us today.
You're welcome, Jane. Bye for now.
Thanks.